if you have 2 blocks, place them at the top of your mat. If not, I will show you some modifications to do without the blocks. And then we will begin in a child's pose. For your child's pose, bring your big toe mounds to touch. Your knees out as wide as feels good for you, and then sink your hips back. Find a little micro bend in your elbows. Rest your forehead down onto the earth. If your forehead doesn't quite reach, grab onto a block. Tuck it underneath your head to bring the floor to you. Inhale. And follow your inhale up your inner thighs, through your spine all the way to the top of your head. Exhale and press all of the air out. Let it go. Inhale and follow your breath all the way up to the top of your head. Exhale out of your mouth this time, side out. One more deep, big inhale. Fill up your torso. Exhale, let all of the air go. Inhale, press into your palms. Gently bring yourself up. Roll yourself forward into a tabletop position. Stack your knees underneath your hips and curl into your toes. Inhale, roll your shoulder blades back. Press your heart forward, reach your tailbone high. Exhale, dome and round into your spine. Release to the tops of your feet. Guide your hips back. Come back into your child's pose. Inhale, ripple forward into tabletop. Roll your chest open, tilt your tailbone high. Exhale, dome and round into your spine. This time, press into your toes. Lift your knees off the mat. Reach your tailbone back and up. Keep your knees nice and bent in your downward dog. Inhale, draw your weight forward, lower your knees down to the mat. Tilt your tailbone, roll your shoulder blades back, lift your chin. Exhale, dome and round. Sink back into child's pose. Inhale, round yourself forward into table. Lift your chest and your tailbone for cow. Exhale, round, press into your toes. Lift your knees, reach your hips up and back. Nice, smooth transitions. Inhale, lower down. Cow pose. Exhale, round, child's pose, sink back. One more time, really link your breath with the movement. Inhale, roll forward. Cow pose. Exhale, round into your spine, lift your knees up. Downward dog. Inhale, lower your knees, lift your heart. Exhale, round, sink back, child's pose, release and let it go. Inhale, come back into a tabletop position. Walk your knees in close together. Sink your hips to one side and swing your legs out in front of you. As you inhale, pull your right knee in towards your body. Sit up nice and tall, hug your knee in. Exhale, take your right arm back behind you, twist your body to the right side. Plant your fingertips down. Flex your left toes up to the sky. Inhale, unwind, shine your chest forward. Exhale, extend your leg back out. Inhale, pull your left knee in. Sit up tall. Exhale, take your left arm back behind you, twist to the left. Inhale, shine your chest forward, unwind. Exhale, extend your leg out long. Inhale, bring your right knee in. Exhale, take your right arm back. Inhale, unwind. Exhale, slide your right leg back into space. Inhale, bring your left knee in. Exhale, take your left arm back. Inhale, unwind. Exhale, re-extend your leg. Flex your toes up to the sky, really spread them. Place your left hand down on the mat. Inhale, sweep your right arm up and over, stretch out. Exhale, switch directions. Lift your left arm up and over. Inhale, plant your left hand down, reach your right arm up. Exhale, take it to the other side. Inhale, come back, sit up nice and tall. Slide your hands back behind you. Root down through your feet. Shine your knees to the sky. Cross at your ankles, roll yourself back into your tabletop. Stack your knees right underneath your hips, curl into your toes. Inhale, take your right arm out in front of you. Exhale, make a big circle with your arm, reach your arm up and down. Continue your circles, move with your breath. And then switch directions. And take your hand down to the mat. Inhale, extend your left arm forward. Exhale, reach your arm back. Switch directions. Place your hands down onto the earth. Curl into your toes. Inhale, lift your knees, reach your tailbone up to the sky. Straighten out your legs as much as feels good for you. Maybe keeping a bend in your knees, stay high on your toes. Or pedal out your legs, warm up through your hamstrings. Send a lot of breath into your calves. Settle into stillness. Inhale, kick your right leg up to the sky. Point your right toe, squeeze into your glutes. Pulse your heel back, back, back. Keep squeezing, keep pulsing. Gently lower your right foot down to the mat. Inhale, lift your right leg or your left leg up. Exhale, point your toes, squeeze your glutes. Find your pulsing sensation. As you draw your heel back, squeeze a tiny bit more. Lower your foot down to the mat. Inhale, rise up onto your toes. Exhale, tippy-toe your way to the top of the mat. If you have blocks, bring your blocks at their highest height towards the center of your mat. If you don't, just place your hands down onto the mat. Step your legs out nice and wide. Turn your toes facing forward. Inhale, draw the crown of your head forward. Exhale, bend your right knee, sink over to the right side. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, bend into your left knee, sink to your left side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, bend to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, bend to the left. Inhale, come back to center and pause. Exhale, heel to your feet back in till they come hip distance apart. Find that alignment. Bend your knees, tuck your tailbone. Slowly round yourself up to standing. Take a big roll out with your shoulders. Roll them down your back. Place your hands on your hips. Inhale, lift your left foot off the mat. Exhale, step your left foot all the way back. Draw your right knee over your ankle. Press out through the back heel of your foot. Then find a little softening bend in your back knee. Find a little buoyancy there. With your hands on your hips, even out your hips. Dip your right hip slightly down, your left hip slightly up. Knit your rib cage in. Take in an inhale. Exhale. Find a little bit deeper of a sink in with your hips. Inhale. Bring your left forearm out in front of you. Flip your palm to the sky. Exhale. Take your left forearm to the top of your right thigh. Squeeze your inner thighs towards each other. Inhale, tilt your tailbone back, reach the crown of your head forward. Exhale, roll your right shoulder open, twist your body to this right side. If at any point it gets to be too intense, lower your back knee down, give yourself some support. For a little added heat, extend your right arm back behind you with your thumb face up. Find 2 more breaths. Inhale, unwind, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, place your hands down onto your mat. Feel that quad working. Inhale, step your foot back. Exhale, lift your hips up, downward dog. Spread through your fingers. Bring your ears by your biceps. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, point your toes, begin to pulse and squeeze. Slowly, with control, lower your foot down to the mat. Take your time. Inhale, float your left leg up. Exhale, point your toes, squeeze into your glutes. Find your pulsing. Very gently take your foot back down to the mat. Inhale, rise up onto your tippy toes. Exhale, tippy toe your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, place your hands on your blocks or the floor. Exhale, step your feet out nice and wide. Turn your toes facing forward. Inhale, relax your shoulder blades down your back. Find a little more length through your spine. Exhale, bend into your right knee, sink over to the right side. Inhale up. Exhale, bend to the left. Inhale. Exhale, bend to the right. Drive your booty back. Inhale up. Exhale, pause. As you inhale, lengthen out a little bit more. Exhale, heel toe your feet in. Walk them hip distance apart. Bend your knees, tuck your tailbone, round yourself up to standing. Roll your shoulder blades down your back. Place your hands on your hips. Inhale, lift your right knee up. Exhale, step your right foot all the way back. Soften in your back knee, but kick out through the back heel of your foot. Direct your left knee over your ankle. Square your hips off to the front of the room. Knit your rib cage in. Inhale, bring your right forearm out in front of you and flip your palm. Exhale, take your forearm to your left thigh. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, roll your left shoulder open, twist to the left side. I know it. Inhale, reach your left arm back behind you for a little added heat. Lift your thumb. For less heat, lower your knee down to the earth. Sip in 2 more breaths. Inhale, unwind, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, place your hands down onto the mat. Inhale, step your left foot back. Exhale, lift up your hips, revisit your downward dog. Inhale, rise up onto your toes. Bend your knees. Exhale, step or hop up to the top of the mat. Inhale, slide your hands up your legs or grab onto your blocks. Halfway lift. Reach the crown of your head forward. Exhale, fold and melt down. Grab onto your blocks or place your hands onto the floor. Step your left leg all the way back. Lower your knee down to the mat. Walk your blocks into your inner thigh. Heel toe your right foot over to the right just a little bit. Sink a little bit deeper into your hips. With your blocks, if you have them, lower them down to their lowest setting. Spread through your fingers. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, bend your elbows. Start to come down about halfway or all the way. Inhale, press into your palms, lift yourself up. Push up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up and pause. If you have your blocks, bring them back to their highest setting. Walk your right foot back in line with your hip. Take your right hand back on the outside of your leg. As you inhale, hug your hips back, straighten through your right leg. Walk your hands or your blocks back a couple inches. Lift your right toes off of the mat. Spread your toes. If it's feeling really intense, find a little micro bend in your knee. Inhale, draw your heart a little bit more toward your toes. Exhale, bend your elbows, sink in a little more. Inhale, bring your hips up and then forward, plant your foot back down. If you have your blocks, walk them back to the top of the mat. Press into your left toes, lift your left knee. Hop your back foot forward. Walk your feet hip distance apart. Taking a big inhale, reach the crown of your head forward. Exhale, step your left foot back about halfway. Just halfway on your mat. Turn your left toes to face the top left corner of your mat. Heel toe your right foot over just a smidge. Give yourself a little space. Walk your blocks underneath your shoulders, or if you don't have blocks, take your hands to the top of your right leg. Whichever one you choose to do, bring your right hand to your hip. Press your right hip back. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head, just like you've been doing all day. Pull your navel in. Take your right hand to your lower back. Find a nice flat back there. Make any adjustments you need to find that. Take your hand back to your block or onto your shin. Bend your elbows, fold yourself in just a little bit more. Inhale, lengthen up halfway. Exhale, take your right hand back to your hip. Press your hip back. Rotate your chest over to the right side. Twisted triangle. For added heat, reach your right arm up. As you exhale, bring your hands back down to the floor or your blocks. Walk your hands forward. Step your back foot to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, slide your hands up your legs or use your blocks. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, place your hands on your blocks through the floor. Exhale, step your right foot all the way back. Lower your right knee down to kiss your mat. Walk your hands on the inner part of your left leg. Heel toe your left foot out to the side. Give yourself a nice wide stance. Bring your blocks down to their lowest setting or ground down through your palms. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, bend your elbows, get low. Inhale, press yourself up. Exhale, get low. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Inhale, rise up. Bring your blocks at their highest setting. Take your block in your left hand and bring your block around your left leg. Heel toe your left foot back in line with your hip. As you inhale, hug your hips back. Straighten your left leg. Walk your hands back as well. Lift your left toes. Ground down through your heel. Plug your left hip back. Inhale, draw your heart a little more towards your toes. Exhale, bend your elbows for a little more depth. Inhale, draw your hips up, plant your foot back down. Walk your blocks back to the top of the mat. Press into your back toes, lift your back knee. Hop your foot back to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step your right foot back about halfway. Exhale, turn your right toes slightly out to the side. Walk your blocks in line with your shoulders or grab onto your leg. Take your left hand into your left hip, press your hip back. Lengthen through your spine. Take your left hand to your lower back. Find that nice flat table with your lower spine. Bring your hand to your block or your leg. Inhale. Exhale, bend your elbows, sink in a tiny bit more. Inhale, lift up. Take your left hand back to your hip. Exhale, rotate your chest to the left. For that added heat, reach your left arm up high, or stay as you are and listen to your body. Bring your hands back down. Hop your back foot to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Step both your feet to the back of your mat. Lift your hips up. Come up high onto your toes. Reach your tailbone back behind you. Find a lot of space through your spine. Bend your knees. Walk your hands back towards your toes. Come to the back of your mat. Bend your knees deeply. Grab onto opposite elbows. Let yourself hang heavy. Rotate from side to side. Dip your chin in. Bring your hands down to the mat. Heel toe your feet out nice and wide. With your toes out, your heels in. Sink into a squat. Walk your hands back behind you. Bring your sits bones down to the earth. Extend your legs out in front. Inhale. Bring your right knee back in toward your body. Exhale. Step your right foot over your left thigh. Grab onto your legs. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale. Reach your right arm up. Exhale. Send your right arm back behind you. If you'd like to come into a half bind, flip your right palm so your thumb faces down. Slide the back of your hand across your back and hook your fingers on the outside of your left hip. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, reconnect into your twist wherever you are. Twist a little deeper. Inhale, unwind. Stretch your leg out long. Invite your left knee in. Cross your left foot over your right thigh. Give yourself a little hug. Inhale, stretch your left arm up. exhale, take your fingers back behind you. If you like that half bind, flip your palm so your thumb faces down. Slide your hand behind your back and hook it on the outside of your right hip. Ground down through your sits bones, sit up tall. Roll your left shoulder open a tiny bit more. Inhale, unwind, gaze back to center. Exhale, release your legs. Inhale, reach your arms up high to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, spread your toes. Roll yourself back up. Place your hands down by your sides. Shift your weight forward to the top of your mat. With your knees still bent, draw your knees over to one side and then the other. Windshield wipering out your legs, your hips. With your hands down onto the mat, gently guide yourself all the way down. My camera cut out here. Go ahead and bring your knees into your chest for a nice squeeze, a little hug. Take your hands to the tops of your knees and make big circles out with your legs. Really seeing any last bits of tension in your lower back. Bring your knees back into your chest and gently extend them long to the mat. Let your legs be heavy on the ground. Let your arms rest by your sides with your palms face up. Close your eyes. Roll your shoulder blades down your back. Soften the space between your eyebrows. Allow your breath to flow more naturally. Let your toes splay out to either side. Allow yourself to be very, very heavy in your Shavasana. Begin to find movement in your toes and your fingers. Wiggle, stretch. Come back into your body. Bring your knees back into your center line. Roll yourself on to whichever side feels comfortable to you. Take in one more deep inhale and exhale. As you inhale, press yourself back up to a seated position. Bring your hands to prayer at heart center. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel.